Gem faceting is a process of transforming rough, such as this, into a cut finished stone, such as this, by placing flat, polished facets or cuts. So faceting is the process of transforming rough into a cut stone. This stone is cut in Portuguese style. The top here is called the table. This is the crown. This is the girdle. And the bottom is called the pavilion. So we are going to start by cutting the pavilion and the girdle. Then we're going to transfer the stone and cut the crown and the table. So first we are going to cut the pavilion. The pavilion is the bottom of the stone. Then we are going to cut the girdle. The girdle is the middle of the stone there. And then finally we're going to cut the crown, which is the top of the stone, and the table, which is a flat facet, which is on the very top of the stone. So this is the faceting machine that we're going to be using to cut the stone. So this is the mast, which has a 96 index gear. This is the drip tank. This is a splash pan. And this is where we put the laps, the various laps that we're going to be using. This is the lamp. And then this is the base of the machine. When we are transferring the stone so that you can cut the crown, we're going to be using this transfer fixture. And then this is a table adapter that you use to cut the table. In order to dope the stones, we'll be using dope sticks. And you're going to use wax to attach the rough stone onto the dope stick. So we are going to be transforming this rough stone into an oval cut. The first step is performing the stone, and we are going to perform using a 260 grit lap. So this is a dope stick, and this is what we are going to use to attach to this. This is what you're going to attach to the stone using wax and an alcohol lamp. So we're going to melt the wax and attach the dope stick to the stone. So when doping, make sure that the dope is at the center of the stone. And before doping, make sure you clean the stone with alcohol. So you can use, there are many different modes of doping. You can use wax, and you can also use glue, or you can also use epoxy. So it depends on you, and also the kind of stone that you're doping. So you're going to take your dope stone, and then you're going to put it on the mast and fasten. Then you're going to cut to center point. You're going to start cutting the pavilion. So the first thing you're going to do is set the angle. We're going to set the angle to 41.45. And then we're going to start cutting. Make sure some water is dripping. The water prevents you from inhaling dust when cutting the stone, and it also keeps the stone cool. So I have cut the stone to center point. Now we are going to cut the girdle, and to do that we are going to move the mast so that you can cut at 90 degrees. So we are going to set to 90 degrees, and now we are going to proceed to cut the girdle. So now we've finished. We've cut the pavilion, and we've also cut the girdle. So the pavilion mains and the girdle facets. So now we are going to change out the 260 lap into a 600 lap, so as to remove the scratches that have been made by the coarser 260 lap. So now I have cut all the main facets, there are 16 of them, to center point with a 600 lap grit. So I'm going to move to the 1200 pre-polish lap, which will remove all the scratches which have been made by the 600 lap and make it ready for polish. So I've done both the pavilion and the girdle facets, but I've not put in the star facets because they cut very fast. I will cut them with a 1200 lap. So we have cut all the facets, the main facets. There are 16 of them with the 1200 lap and also the girdle facets. So now we are going to cut in the star facets, 8 star facets. I have finished cutting all the star facets, 8 star facets. Now the next step is to polish the pavilion and the girdle. So there are many methods of polishing. Today I'm going to use an ultra wraps to polish. So it's a thin film that you place on a lap and polish. So all you do is make sure the whole lap is wet, and then you just place the ultra laps, and that's it. So you're going to start polishing. So you can see that one facet has polished. Now we have polished all the main facets. So now we are going to polish the star facets. So we have finished faceting the pavilion and the girdle. So now we need to facet the crown, which is covered by this dope. So what you need to do is transfer so that you expose the top part so that you can cut the crown and the table. So what we are going to do is we are going to take a dope which has a cone shape, and then we are going to fix it on the pavilion which is already cut, and then we are going to remove the previous dope. And this process is called transfer. So to do this, you need to clean your dopes and the stone with alcohol, and then we are going to use a transfer fixture to do that, to do the transfer. So on the left we are going to put the stone, and then on the right we are going to put the dope, And then we are going to put some wax here and push this dope so that it can be affixed onto the pavilion. So now I need to orient or align the stone so that I can get the same indices that I used to cut the pavilion so that I can cut the crown. So now we want to start cutting the crown. So we're going to use 600 grit for the first 4 facets, and then we'll move to 1200. So we are now going to establish the size of the girdle. So we have cut the 16 facets using the 600 grit lap. So now we're going to cut the rest of the facet to the 1200 lap or the pre-polish lap. So I have cut all the crown facets, so now I am ready to polish. So we are going to use the ultra laps to polish the crown. Then after we've polished the crown, we're going to cut the table. So I have finished the crown. So now we'll cut and polish the table. So we are now going to cut the table, and to cut the table you need to use a table adapter. So we're going to remove the stone and this screw, then you're going to fix the table adapter. So you fix the table adapter at 45 degrees, then you tighten. And then you're going to fix the stone. Also at 45 degrees. You're going to cut at 45 degrees. we are done cutting the table. So now we need to polish. So this is the finished stone.